As a young boy, John's wish comes true and his teddy bear comes to life.
I wish you could really talk to me. You're my best friend, John.
But as John grows into adulthood, his beloved childhood friend turns into a nightmare.
That's my bad. I was sending a tweet.
As his relationship is threatened, John must pick between his girlfriend and his teddy bear. In Ted.
Seth MacFarlane, of course, is behind Family Guy and Cleveland, the Cleveland Show, and he's got American Dad. He's got a lot of shows on TV, so why not venture into the feature world, which he has done, because Ted is his new movie, and we've all just seen it.
So my problem with Ted is that it's the same joke over and over again. I love shock humor. I love offensive things in general. And so we have this teddy bear, and it's basically just trying to say offensive things.
The company's having their 20th anniversary party next week, so that's something.
Ari's the senior VP at a big, huge PR firm.
It's not that big of a deal.
Company's turning 20, so you can bang it, but you can't get it drunk. Right?
But it is the same joke over and over again. It's cute teddy bear, horribly awful things that come out of its mouth, and that gets really boring after a while.
The humor is the offensive frat boy type of humor, but that is Seth MacFarlane's brand, and he delivers on his brand, and the movie is actually very, very funny.
But I'm going to agree with Liz here, because you say Seth MacFarlane's brand, but Seth MacFarlane's brand is a half-hour sitcom. So you're right, he does play to the Seth MacFarlane brand, and it doesn't work over the course of 90 minutes to 2 hours. It only works within half-hour blocks, and the film, yes, maybe the first act was a little funny, but it ran out of steam after that completely.
I think it's because they didn't milk the premise for everything it's worth. I mean, we have a great setup. I agree with you there. It's this idea of a little boy who doesn't really fit in. All he wants is for his bear to come to life and be his best friend. We don't really see a point of view or the film trying to say anything about why this specific little boy is getting rewarded. Mm-hmm. And so once it gets past the premise for me, I lose all perspective and point of view, and then I get bored.
When you stop looking at the bear as a bear and just as a character, it is a funny buddy movie.
If you look at the jokes on paper that this bear is saying, they're not funny. What the writers think is funny is that these jokes are being said by the bear.
John, I look like something you give to your kid when you tell him grandma died.
So they write to the fact that they have this funny convention of a bear spewing these things, and what he's spewing is not written the way it should be. It's not polished enough that stuff is really funny.
We have two sort of antagonistic forces. Mila Kunis' character, who plays Lori, plays a kind of antagonist. She plays a barrier between Ted and John.
Right, a voice of reason becomes an antagonist, basically.
Right, and that's the thing, is that she's actually not really an antagonist because John really shouldn't be living with a full-grown bear. The other antagonistic force is Joel McHale, who plays a threat to Mila Kunis's and Mark Wahlberg's relationship. Mm-hmm. And he's pretty transparent as a threat.
Well, I agree. It's not enough. And they try and throw a wrench in it because you've forgotten one antagonist, which is Giovanni Ribisi's character.
Right, I forgot.
Who could be pretty interesting. I mean, he basically plays a character who said, well, this boy got a magic bear. I didn't get a magic bear as a kid. Why didn't I get a magic bear as a kid? That's pretty interesting. They could go in a lot of different ways with that.
That's the worst part, I thought, of the movie.
Yeah, because it comes so late that it makes no sense with the rest of the film.
Mark Wahlberg and Mila Kunis were a good couple. I always enjoy them as actors. Those performances I thought were fine.
They had a lot of chemistry between them. It was almost as if they were acting in a romantic comedy than this raunchy comedy.
I used to love Family Guy. The first 3 seasons of Family Guy I watched with my college roommate over and over again. I thought they were the most hilarious things in the world. But I guess it's that criticism of Family Guy where it's that same bizarre, esoteric references. But if you really like that, maybe Ted's right up your alley.
They did milk that. He didn't have a penis, but yet he seemed to have lots of sex.
Lots of sex. Yes, and he drank a lot. I don't know what his biological functions are at all.
Yeah, he actually could consume food, but he had only stuffing inside, which was a little strange.
There's a lot of questions that were never answered.
That's right.
At all.
As long as you don't deconstruct the movie and just enjoy it for what it is.
But that's our job. Our job is to deconstruct the movie. We do it. We're finding nothing.
Does he have a digestive system or not? Tell me.
But with this kind of movie, I think it is just supposed to be a fun, enjoyable movie. And if you laugh at it, then that's all you're supposed to get out of it. I don't think it's supposed to have a bigger meaning.
What we have here is a lot of money going into a film that isn't really about anything. So I say, go watch the first 3 seasons of Family Guy and skip this.
Yeah, I think Seth MacFarlane is clearly in the market for half-hour sitcoms, and when you take it to a 2-hour movie, it just doesn't work. So I'm gonna have to say skip it.
You guys are crazy. This is a well-made comedy that will please Seth MacFarlane fans. See it.
All right, well, that's one ticket for Ted, which is a stream it. So, should we cheers to Seth MacFarlane, even though we didn't really like the movie?
She's drinking without cheers.
I don't need you guys.
There you go. To you.
Go on, Teresa.
All
There
right.
you go.
All right, Brandy, Heather, Channing, Brianna, Amber, Sabrina, Melody, Dakota, Sierra, Bambi, Crystal, Samantha, Autumn, Ruby, Taylor, Tara, Tammy, Lauren, Charlene, Chantel, Courtney, Misty, Jenny, Krista, Mindy, Noelle, Shelby, Trina, Reba, Cassandra, Nikki, Kelsey, Shauna, Jolene, Erling, Claudine, Savannah, Casey, Dolly, Kendra, Kylie, Chloe, Devin, Emma, Luke, Becky.
Nope.